Okay, this is part 2 beta. Alright, so if you watch part A and part 1, then you know why I took my hair out. It's raining. I'm going to make this video and I'm going to bed, and I will make more videos about racial identity crisis maybe another day. It really just depends. 20% of people who are multicultural know exactly what the hell a racial... I'm having a hard day talking today, and I'm getting fat. That's not a camera trick. I really am getting fat. 20% of people who are multicultural or biracial know what the hell a racial identity crisis is. I went through the list earlier in the first video, and whether you enjoyed it or agree with me or not, a lot of that shit does happen. And most people who are half-breeds or mixed or, like me, 1000% mutt, know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, lots of people, they judge us and they judge what we do. They judge who we are, they judge what we are, and they tend to depict us in the, you can't really fit in over here, you can't really fit in over there. So, what do? Alright, one, when I was in school, up until I found other mixed kids, it was kind of, stray more toward black people, they'll be more accepting. That is a lie. Stray more to white people, they'll be more accepting. That is a lie. I hung with Asian kids because they weren't white and they weren't black. I also didn't know that Native Americans were Asian until I got into college. I also didn't know that I was part Native American until I got into the 5th grade. Alright? So if you want to go by dissemination, I could not honestly tell you how much Native American I am. I know that I have a heavy Native American heritage and heavy black heritage and a little white heritage. Alright? Since there's white on only one side, which is my mom's side, and her mom was Native American and her dad was mixed with black and white, so there's the white. And then on my dad's side, his dad was black and his mom was Native American, so there you have that. Now you can believe what you want, because I don't really give a shit. I don't have to prove this shit to you. I might have to prove it to the government so that they don't deport my black ass, but you know, a lot of things do happen when you're multicultural, and it really depends on the circumference of your face. So, Wednesday, Tuesday, today's Wednesday. So yeah, Tuesday when I was at my other job that work as needed, we were talking, me and the dude, he was fucking with me, so it's all cool. And we were talking about like stuff, and I told him, the really only times that I've had these issues is either with black people thinking that I was Mexican or Hawaiian, or white people thinking that I was Hawaiian or Mexican. And on the other video, I tell you about the time I went to Florida with my adopted father, and the white guy was saying all kinds of stuff about Chinese people, and in like the mid of his rant, he stopped, looked dead at me, and like just shut the fuck up like really quickly. And I said, dude, I'm part Cherokee, I'm not Chinese. So he continued his banter. Now, he didn't say anything like racially depictive. Let me get that straight. He wasn't really like putting them down because of their race. He was just not really culturally correct about a lot of the shit that they do. And at the time, A Taste of China, the star attraction was maybe like a 6-year-old girl named Fawn. So, hi Fawn. I never met you, but I was there. Anyway. Shit, Fawn's got to be about like 25 by now. Anyway, yeah, they're circus performers, but they were like, it was like a whole Chinese setup. Like a whole kingdom, like a whole province and stuff. But they had great shows there. I don't know if the place even still exists. I'm not going to go Google it. But if you do still exist, thank you for having me so many years ago back in my 20s. Alright, so anyway. Racial identity crisis is when a person of multicultural ethnicity doesn't really know which more of the ethnicities that they have that they relate to. The more ethnicities you have, the more identity crisis you'll probably have. Now, my family, both sides, don't really acknowledge the Cherokee side. I, on the other hand, not only acknowledge it, I totally fucking embrace that shit because our great-grandmother was a Cherokee Indian. She told me stories. I believe I'm the only one she told stories because I'm the only one who really was kind of left at her feet. So, before she got her legs amputated, from gangrene or whatever. But, I was the only one that basically remembered my great-grandmother Ada. So, that could be part of the reason why I embrace my Cherokee heritage so much. But the real kicker is that when I found out I was part of Cherokee, it really fucked me up because all my heroes were cowboys. So that should probably make you really feel like you're getting slapped in the face. You know, because it's like, okay, there's black cowboys, there's white cowboys. Granted, only white cowboys were really on TV. And by the time black cowboys were on TV, I was just being born, I guess. So outside of Salute Your Local Sheriff or whatever the hell it's called with Gene Wilder and the one black cowboy in the whole damn movie that I can remember. You know, everybody else, all the cowboys were always white, and the Native Americans were always depicted as the bad guys, which was not cool. So, having an identity crisis in school. I believe the first identity crisis I had in school was when we had the race war when I was a kid. So, the black kids didn't trust me because they thought I betrayed them to the white kids. The white kids didn't trust me just because I was black, so they was like, yeah, we can't trust James. We don't want him on our side. And that's kind of how it went up until about the third grade or the fourth grade, whichever grade that I punched a girl in the mouth for calling me a nigger. I pretty much knew that I was black, you know, and there was no disputing it. I was black, especially after she called me a nigger. Now, Miss Conrad may ever or wherever she may be, thank you for opening my eyes to wanting to know more about my heritage by insisting that I was a Native American, making me go against the grain and finding out that no matter what tribe I come from, my black ass cannot carve a soap into a canoe. It's not going to happen. My most recent try still sucked at 44 years old. Anyway, so that's when it got even more difficult. And I'm like, well, damn, you know, I never really paid attention. And when you're a child, you don't, because children don't see color. Children see other kids until we fuck them up, which leads to identity crises. Okay, now, I know you guys are wondering why I went through all that to get back to a point. So I'm getting there right now. Now, 9 times out of 10, you know, most of the people who are multicultural, who have identity crisis, don't have them as much as the people who are just half-breeds. Alright, and I'm sorry if half-breed offends you. If your half-breed offends you, then your parents have not explained to you what people are going to depict you as you're growing up. If you are half white and half black, they're going to call you half white and half black. So they're either going to call you white bread, wheat bread, or toast. You know, hey, these are things I've been called. Then when I found out I was part Native American, it only got worse from there. Because then it seemed like all it takes is one person to notice that you have a different ethnicity and use a stereotypical name, and other people will pick on quick. So Lou Diamond Phillips, this is your fault. When I worked at Kegler's, there was one white guy, and I told you guys this before, so here's a long and short. He would never stop calling me Chief. And because of the movie Renegades, starring Lou Diamond Phillips and Kiefer Sutherland, I couldn't stand being called Chief because his character couldn't stand being called Chief. And back then, the word chief seemed to be relatively insulting to most Native Americans if you weren't the fucking chief, you know. And it was kind of the It was kind of the equivalent equal to the word nigger, because when I got into high school, I was never really called the nigger anymore. I was called chief, and that shit used to piss me off because I'd go to school. What's up, Chief? And granted, they were doing it as a term of endearment, but you don't want to hear that shit every fucking day. And then you go to work and hear that shit from some strange white man who plays I Got Friends in Low Places and the Thunder Rose. Anyway, oh yeah, and the Achy Breaky Heart. And every time he sees you, and you beg him to call you by your name, because your name tag's right there in big bold letters, and he goes, hey, Chief. How you doing, Chief? Now, for 3 years of high school, I had to deal with this guy because I wasn't going to beat his ass. The guy was like my age now. I was raised to respect my elders. You know, it wasn't something you didn't swing at adults when you were a kid. That was just like a big fat fucking no. Well, anyway, so I go through that shit, and then I get through it. And then when it came to like applying for other jobs, it's when the racial identity crisis was projected onto me, because I'd fill out the word black, because my birth certificate says Negro. And so that's what I put, you know. And people would look at me like, sir, I think you made a mistake on your application. You don't look like you're a black man. I'm like, well, my true color is up here. It's like, yeah, but your face, you don't look like you're a black man. And I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck does that mean? And I'm like, but I'm black. And they're like, you sure about that? I said, look, I'm not a Mexican. Well, I wasn't going to call you a Mexican. I thought you were like Polynesian or Samoan. I was like, well, I'm not one of them either. I'm actually part Cherokee. He's like, well, I never figured that out. And like every now and again, I get one person, maybe one in a crowd of like 20. I get like one person, hey, you're some kind of Indian, right? I said, yeah, the ones with the feathers, not the dots. You know, so you would be surprised at how many times I have to explain that to people. And that's the other thing that I read, you know, explaining your ethnicity, because people who aren't mixed or don't know they're mixed, or they're mixed but they don't have mixed features, which here's where I blow all of you black American minds. If you are black and you were born in the United States of America, unless your parents literally immigrated from Africa, you are not an African American. You're black American. And most black Americans are mixed with white people or indigenous people of this land. And why is that? Because there was a whole bunch of raping going on. History leaves that out in school because kids aren't able to handle that. But if you're black and you have higher cheekbones than other black people, it's more than likely that you probably have some Native American or some white in you. Alright? Now, whether you choose to acknowledge it or not, it's up to you. I choose to embrace my Cherokee heritage. I don't know when all the festivals are. I only know certain stories, and I still have no lack of the whole story. I only know what I can retain and what left of my memory. I had some concussions since I was 5. I've had a lot of concussions. So, things happen. I used to do really stupid shit. Alright? Yes, I tried to fly. Black superheroes cannot fly for a reason. They're not friends with gravity. Anyway, unless you're Storm, and she's not really black because she's from fucking Egypt, which is in Africa. Okay? Story done. So anyway, having racial identity crisis is fucking normal for people who are mixed. But it also depends on your home environment. If your home environment does not play rock and roll music and your mom or your dad is white and the other parent is black and all you listen to is hip hop, you're more than likely gonna say that you identify with black. Here's where my clusterfuck comes in, because I like hip hop and rap and the 80s and the 90s and all that shit, but I still love rock and roll. So you would hear me on a radio station that would play like Scarface 1 minute, Joan Jett the next. And I knew all the white people songs, all of the Rocky music, all of the Joan Jett songs, you name it. If it was a white person song, you know, the Tom Cruise sliding in the room, take those old glasses off the shelf, I knew all that shit. You asked me to sing a black person song? Couldn't do it. I could do a rap, you know, not just the Fresh Prince, but, you know, I could do Scarface and the Ghetto Boys and Public Enemy and shit that was political because that's what I listened to. Now, as far as, like, when Tupac and all of them bust on the scene, I can cuss very well by my damn self. I'm not going to pay $14.95 or $12.44 for a fucking tape or a fucking CD to hear another black person like me say the word fuck, bitch, whore, slut, asshole. I smoke cane, I shoot people, I kill people, I smoke weed, I inject heroin, I hit bitches with the tip of my dick. I didn't need any of that. And then when Wu-Tang Clan came out and Rough Riders came out, I listened to them. But they weren't half as bad as those motherfuckers. They came out and started smacking people in the head with their dicks and shooting nuts in people's eyes. I used to listen to Christmas raps, you know, Jingle Jangle, get your welfare check, you can kiss my mistletoe. You know, I listen to that kind of stuff. I'm a consumer of music. The only music that I would say that I'm probably prejudiced against, I said it, prejudice. I do not listen to gospel music, and I do not listen to country music. Now, don't judge me. I slightly listen to jazz, I slightly don't. But if you got to put me in a room and you want to torture me, country music will do. But if you ask me, would I rather to listen to Ella Fitzgerald or Led Zeppelin, I'm going with Led Zeppelin because I don't know that much about Ella Fitzgerald. I know she was a jazz singer, but I don't know none of her songs. I don't know none of the lyrics to her song. Now, you ask me about Led Zeppelin, the only song I can remember, because it's been playing in my head since I went to go see Thor Ragnarok, is that song. I don't know the name of it, but I remember it was, that's the only part I know of the whole damn song. Welcome to the land of the ice and snow. I don't know how the rest of the song goes. But that's what I listened to. If you ask me when I was coming up, in high school who was my favorite rock band. One on the top of the list was Aerosmith, and another one on the top of the list was Stone Temple Pilots. And then you have your Pearl Jam, you have your Stain, you have Saliva, you have Nickelback and stuff like that. And those were the people that I listened to. I didn't know about Pearl Jam. I didn't even think they were real. The only reason I knew about Pearl Jam was because I used to watch Clarissa Explains It All. Alright? So, identity crisis? Yeah. You can have an identity crisis by telling this mixed person what kind of music they listen to. Now I'm gonna make a third video because I'm pretty sure I've shot over the mark. Yeah, I did. I'm 15 minutes in, so I'll make a third video, which technically would be part 3.1. So I'm gonna do that, and you guys are just gonna either enjoy this or you're gonna give me the finger. I'm James from James. Come back with number 2. Be seeing you.